கரத்தனை ஆனை முகத்தனை இந்தின் திரை போலும் மெயிற்றனை நந்தி மகந்தனை ஞான கொழுந்தினை புந்தியில் வைத்தடி போற்றுகின்றேனே.
So happy morning to all. I take this opportunity to welcome you all for this session on Learn to Read, Read to Learn. Before I go ahead with our session, I just want to give a small intro about Readabit.in and its services. Readabit.in is started with an objective to make more convenient and provide services that will make every reader conveniently develop their reading habit. In order to do that, we would like to save especially the time in terms of searching the books in a library. So we will save the time by providing the website where they can browse the books which they want to select easily at the convenience of their home. And next, they can save the time of traveling all the way to the library to pick up the book because we provide the door delivery service. And next, the most important thing is the innovation of suggest your book option, because as a reader, they just want to read every book they come across and they hear about and they get suggested by others, or even some book themselves suggest some other books. So if they are not able to get those books, normally it will not be more interesting and they will not be continuing their reading habits. So in order to even remove the hurdle from the development of this reading habit, we actually provided the suggest your book option, which we can proudly say that no other library provides that. So through which the member can suggest the book they want to read and they can get it immediately. It's guaranteed. Unlike other places where we cannot get any guaranteed books getting suggested. So it's not that we are going to stop with this. So we will keep continuing with these types of innovations to help develop the reading habit of each and every member. And of course, this is part of our innovation. This ARHAM, ARHAM, Awareness of Reading Habit Mission is initiated to create an awareness about the reading habit. So part of that, we have our speaker today, Mrs. Rini Rose Mathew. So I just like to give a small intro about her also. In fact, she is born in India and raised in Kuwait. So Mrs. Rini Rose Mathew calls it a privilege to be the daughter of two diverse nations. Yes, both the countries are close to her heart. She is the product of diverse cultures, faith, discipline, and ideology. She hails from Kerala and presently resides in Madurai. Hence, she could be called an appropriated cosmopolitan. This interdisciplinary and multicultural upbringing is evident in her perception and writing. Rini is a language tutor. Her interest in writing and voice modulation has taken form as creative documentaries. Presently residing in the land of diverse cultures, she devotes her time for learning and teaching a group of passionate learners across India. Her poems and articles find a way in international journals as a source of experience and dedication to the language as an art. The belief that language is an approach and an amalgam of life finds credit in her published works. She is the author of the poetry collection, The Eternal Thought, Day She Spoke, The Hues of Festivity, etc. In September 2020, her poetry was acknowledged and published by an Australian magazine, The Font. This opened the doors to creativity and writing. She has also successfully co-authored 3 books, Flames of My Imagination, Unlocked On Memories, and My First Love. The 3rd book was recently by Amazon International in more than 10 countries of the world, including USA, UK, Mexico, Netherlands, Australia, Germany, and India. The collection of her poems is a reminder on the transitory nature of life. These words strengthen her to connect with people by passing on hope and love for a better world. The blemishes and smudges of this imperfect world reinstate every individual to shine in glory with perfection. Rini has got a rose in her name, but she states that her life was not a path of roses. It was filled with turbulence and storms of varying intensity. 2 things remain constant in life, and that is her faith in God and confidence in her. Her works highlight the essence of humanity, love, hope, and purpose in life. And in fact, the topic which she has chosen today is reading and personality development. And it is going to be that she will be touching and throwing some light on the key aspects of this particular topic. Of course, it's a very huge topic which cannot be covered in just an hour or 2 or even a day. So she will be, and of course, along with Readabit, we will be actually we will be coming out with the course where members or whoever interested in that can enroll in future, and it can be discussed at the end of the session during the question hour. So with this, I would like to invite today's special guest speaker, Mrs. Rini Rose Mathew.
First of all, I would like to thank the precious time and energy that all of you have taken to be a part of this program. And also thanks to Readabit, especially Mr. Govardhan, for his initiative, for inviting me as a speaker for today's program. It is a learning experience for me as well. I hope I can also transform into a better personality after today's session. So all the eminent dignitaries available right now who are a part of this program as participants, special thanks from my side. Also a special mention about Mr. Govardhan, his passion and dedication towards what he has been doing over the weeks. Of course, we need to discuss, we need to also talk about a lot of things when we plan for a particular session. So I also was ignited. I also got the spark from him when he contacted me and also discussed on so many points. And we came across this topic, personality development and reading. Okay, so Vanakkam, Namaskaram, Namaskar to everybody who's listening to me. What is reading exactly? For some people, it is a huge process, a multifaceted process. For some people, it's just reading. For some, it's just a conversation with the book. It varies from person to person. That's what I would like to say. And for me, it's much more than everything. It's much more than just sitting with a book, conversing with a book, and all that. Now, personality is a big package on one side. Reading is also a combination of so many things. Now, I am trying to interconnect both. The 2 packages. Human beings, each of us are unique, very complex. The great psychologist Sigmund Freud himself says it's very difficult to unfurl a human personality. The human behavior, people are still studying. And it's so magnanimous. You just cannot fathom it. So writers have written about it. We are also talking. And we are also here on the platform. So along with thanking everybody, I would also like to thank the most distinguished inhabitant on the face of this earth, which is the coronavirus, in spite of the havoc, in spite of the confusion that has been created over the years, because we all are here on the same platform discussing about common interests, discussing about what we really like and all that. Sometimes I always feel that we all are used to speaking to larger audience. Some of us, we have the microphone in front of us. We see the people, we get the correct hold of the situation. People wave at you. Sometimes the mic will also howl back at you, irrespective of the quality and the quantity of the content that you're trying to deliver. It happens. Now, we have been confined to this screen, whether it is rectangular in shape, whether it is square in shape, whatever shape it is, varying sizes, limitations are there. So we are confined. Now, these confinements have helped you to transform. It has redefined you. So confined space has become a redefinition of your version. I'll put it in simpler words. 2 years back, how was it like for you? Because I have heard people telling me, I'm at crossroads. I don't know what is going to become of me. Whether you are a speaker or whether you are into writing, whatever it is, we were still exploring the different facets of technology. Even experts, savvy people, I have heard people telling that we don't know. What is going to become, we don't know. So introspecting yourself, how have you evolved from what you were through the whole procedure? Right now, where do you stand? So that is what I was trying to convey. Squares, boundaries, limitations, but you have transformed. The power of overcoming. So unknowingly, unconsciously, this has happened. So I'm going to talk about all these things. And as Mr. Govardhan also gave a very good introduction, for me, language is always an approach. Be it anything, Tamil, Malayalam, Hindi, whatever it is, it's always an approach. And when you write something, when you read a book, nothing sparks or comes out of the blue. It has got a base. I always believe in that. It's because of experience. It's because of exposure. Sometimes it's because you don't know anything also. That is also experience. Knowing nothing is also an experience. So it's an approach. It's all about life. So now I would like to highlight on alphabets here. I'm going to just highlight on 11 points. Personality and reading. Why 11? PERSONALITY. 11 points. I hope I can cover all the points with the 11 alphabets. So I will be talking about my experience because that is the best teacher. If you ask me, Rini, are you a voracious reader? Maybe to an extent. If you ask me, have you read all the books? No, I'm still reading. I'm still a learner. And also, when I'm teaching adult learners, every day is a new experience for me, just like all of you. Wherever you are, whatever profession you are in, every day is a learning experience for me. So through my journey of teaching and learning and writing and reading, yes, I have been also able to produce, create poems, short stories, and everything. So let's get into the topic. So here, I hope you can see, I have got P here, the first points. The first point. Perception, perceive, P. Now, when you take a small child, the child plays with the senses. It can see, touch, feel, hear, smell. And when you start, when you help a child to read, you always play with all these things. Of course, I have seen people claiming to use these sensory organs, but still it's not very easy. I'll just demonstrate that. I have a cutout of tea here. Okay, so if you ask a child to read, he doesn't know. Read? Okay, take a book. Take the book in your hand like this. Flip over the pages. Smell the book. Okay, hold the book like this, like that. All these things you teach in school or even at home. So you have the cutout of tea here, and the ability to see. Yes, I can see, but I don't know whether it's tea. So you feel it. All right, it has the edges, it has the corners, and then this it's a kind of, the child imbibes the language. If you ask me, when did you start reading, I can't remember. I just started reading. It just happened. It was an attempt and it progressed. I evolved with it. Many of you also might be able to relate with this. So coming back to the tea, you feel, you sense everything, and then you say, yeah, it's a tea. Yes. So if the child is also familiar with the aroma of tea, sense of smell is also working there. The child can also describe with the senses, with the words and all that. And as you evolve into a better personality, the edge of life, the cuts of life, okay, these things, this slowly starts becoming visible. The edge, cut, and all that. Words can also touch you. When you read that, yes, sometimes words are hurting. It can just inspire you. I have many of my learners telling me that more than the language classes you take, maybe just one word. That one word inspired me. Or maybe just that one action of yours. So it all comes out of reading, learning together, discussing. So imbibe. A child imbibes. Then after that, you introduce the child into the world of reading. Even reading comes just like that automatically. You read a book to a child, a small baby, it is there, the sound is there. Pa, ba, ah. Okay, so it is playing. So I'm always fascinated, sometimes people just lose track of the sound. The sound plays a very important role. T.S. Eliot's very famous poem, Wasteland. It's a postmodern poem. It speaks about fragmentation, the problems that you face in the modern world. And as you read the poem, you just cannot understand everything as you read the whole poem. But when you come towards the end of the poem, there is this description, dha, dha, dha. It is from the Upanishad. Dattha, dayadhvam, dhamyada. It's from the Upanishad. It's nothing but give, be compassionate, be gentle. So all the points are described there. So the sound is very important. So as you imbibe things, you evolve. That is how your personality grows. I was just now talking about the coronavirus also, so that is why I'm going to relate with this. The next is E. Extension, evolution. That is what I'm going to talk about now. Now, writing is a huge process. You observe people, you think, everything happens simultaneously. It could happen simultaneously. After that, you filter, and then you start writing. Now, when I started writing, I was not aware of all these things. It just happened. And yes, I have got a rose in my name, but my life was not a bed of roses. We all our lives, each of you can relate with this. It has got thorns with varying intensity. It pricks you, and then you come up. So this is very important. So evolution, how do you evolve with reading? How can you really come out of the well that you're in? Now, there is an extension of your personality when you read. For example, if you take the book Alice in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll, it's an extension of the adult's world. And there is also an elimination that you sense there. The Alice is in her own world. She eliminates things, she imagines. It's all about a dream, but it's an extension of the adult's world, beautifully it is knit together. Evolution. You come out of the well. So how do you transform yourself into the best version of the personality? Here we are finding the vaccination for the coronavirus every day. Scientists are sitting and breaking their head. Strains after strain, first strain, second strain, third strain. It is going on. And we call it the wave. It is hitting at your shore. What are you doing? I feel that the coronavirus has also transformed into the best version of its personality, if it has got a personality, because it has learned to adapt. It is mutating. It is trying to become a better version. And what are you doing here? I don't think we are doing justice to the very purpose of existence. We are in this lockdown. There are a lot of things that we can do, and we have been doing. And that is why we all are here sitting and discussing. And life is never a full stop. It is a pause. And that is what I meant by evolution and extension of your personality. The next is R. Of course, R stands for reading, reconciliation, resilience. Okay, so here I would like to introduce one of my books. It is this Unlockdown Memories, 15 Short Stories. So this was written when I contracted COVID in the month of October last year, 2020. I also had my own bouts of breathlessness, all the problems, but it differs from person to person. So my story, I have co-authored this book, and my story is titled The Spiked Blessing. The Spiked Blessing. Coronavirus sometimes I feel is very pretty. It is beautiful. It has got the spikes. The spikes, what does it do? We know that, yeah, it clings to you. It clings to your cell and you go pling. The human beings goes flat. And what brings you back? What restores you? What pushes you back? Of course, it is the willpower, the mental strength, resilience, and after that, you restore yourself. You are shaken. I was shaken when I contracted COVID. I did not know that I was living with the virus for almost 5-6 days because I had to get the tests done and get the result of the test also. I was definitely anxious because I was showing all the symptoms. Breathlessness was not there. And COVID came and just left like that. But the post-COVID phase was very difficult for me from my experience. There were days when I used to gasp for breath. I did not have to hospitalize myself, but still it was very difficult. Along with that, lot of gastric issues. Even my family, my son and my husband, we still have symptoms. It hasn't gone completely from your life. The spikes are still there. The spikes will tinkle you. It keeps on resonating. It reminds you, hey, I'm here. So when I was going through this post-COVID phase, that is when I penned this. I used to write diaries. I used to just jot down small points, and I did not give a title. Then I did not give this title, The Spiked Blessing and all that. So I just wrote what I felt. That's it. So this happened in the month of October 2020. And in the month of December, I got a forward from one of my friends. It was a call for your lockdown experience. And of course, if you have got experience with the COVID guide, that also you can share. So I took my diary, I took some lines from the diary and I just edited. Of course, as William Wordsworth puts it, I did not think for a very long time. It just simultaneously it happened. Observation was going on. Composition was going on. It was already there. Filtration was going on. I did all the necessary editing and I just sent it to this group. It was a creative writing challenge. I wrote about my challenge, but never did I think that it is going to get selected, because what my intention was, to be very frank, is I have written something. I just wanted at least the editor of this particular group to read it. That was only my intention. The editor should read it. That's it. But out of the 400 entries that they got, it was a national platform and it is published by Books 33, as you can see here. They had sent me a letter in the month of January saying that your short story is selected and we could feel with what you really felt. So this is where I'm talking about resilience, restoration. Never did I think that I was going to publish this book. And as Govardhan also suggested, in the month of September, two of my poems made its way into the international journal, The Font. That is also a part of my experience. I had the privilege of teaching small children. So one is about The Day She Spoke is completely about a child. And the other one, The Eternal Thought, is about the bliss of teaching, learning, living, and all that. So that is it. I'm just reminding you, restoration, reconciliation, resilience. That is what makes you come up in life. And you can do that effectively through reading. Start reading. Reading is a huge process. You read yourself. Some people can really read the mind of others. You don't have to be a psychiatrist, a counselor, and all that. When you explore yourself, when you excavate deep into yourself, you're reading yourself. And books help you do that. Because why I say this is, nothing comes out of the blue. There is a base for everything. You take the life of any writer, great writers. Their life was full of turbulence. It's the experience which made them write. So same thing can happen to you. Even if you don't become a writer, the power of resilience, restoration, everything happens. We have been talking about books. There are so many groups in the world that really talks about books. But what can book do to you? How can it transform you? There is a virus that is transforming into the best version. Are you transforming into the best version, into the best personality? And I feel this mental capacity can really work. It can just come out. It is with my experience that I'm talking. My life is like an open book right now. So next one is, what is the next letter? S. Say yes to reading. And you feel that you get this feeling of satisfaction. You're satisfied after you complete a book. Just read a book, you feel satisfied. You feel sumptuous, just like having a very good meal. Yes, on a Sunday morning, in the afternoon, you make special meals because everybody's at home, everybody's free. You've got this sumptuous feeling when you read books. Words talk to you. The sound. When you read out to little children, or when little children reads, even if they make mistake, the sound is very important. That's the only way you can introduce them and they start recognizing, seeing, feeling, touching. All these things happen. That is a magic. That is a power. One more thing that I would like to mention is the scriptures. These days, I have heard people sharing a lot of things. They sit and spend a lot of time on meditation. The holy books, the Holy Quran, the Holy Bible, Bhagavad Gita. Even if you don't believe in anything, it's good if you can just go through the lines, the verses, discuss about it. It shouldn't be a ritual. It shouldn't be monotonous. So meditation, the inspiration, the spark you get, because most of the books are based on these things, multiple layers of meaning. They're trying to excavate it. That is how experience also comes. So you feel satisfied. You say, yes, I have read a book. I feel full. I feel satisfied. Now there's another opposite feeling also that you get when you're arrogant to life, when you are overconfident. Some people are so ignorant. They're so complacent with their life. You try to correct them also. If you try, you don't have to necessarily do it. But even if you try, they're so satisfied with their life. Ignorance, very happy, very complacent. So even if you talk, it'll not help. If you have a doubt, reading, gradually when you expose yourself to the magic of reading, this will wane off, this will vanish. And as this vanishes, your personality becomes better. One part is going away and one part is becoming visible. So that is what I meant by sumptuous. You get this sumptuous feeling. The next one is O. I get reminded of William Shakespeare's indelible, comprehensive genius. A person sitting in the 16th century was able to write so much. I just can't believe it. When you read the lines, there's a lot of meaning. When you read it again and again, the meaning just unfurls. And why is he remembered even now? Because of all the sensory qualities. You can feel, of course, there were a lot of writers who lived along with him, but still you're able to, we always believe that he is the best in the English literature. Everything is there. You see, you feel the way he creates the effect. So I'm reminded of this sonnet number 116. There he speaks about this oh feeling, he speaks about the feeling of love. It's a loaded word, so much of meaning. He tries to bring out the meaning of love by saying that love shouldn't be this. What love shouldn't be? It shouldn't be faint. It shouldn't be finicky. It shouldn't be faint. All these things he's keeping on repeating. And when you say that something is not supposed to be this, there is an effect. So O. Now what is O? What does O stand for? Observation, open-mindedness, and opportunity. How does reading open? How does it become a possibility for you? How does it become an opportunity for you? That is very important. So here I would like to introduce to you this book, Flames of My Imagination. This is also a book that I had co-authored, and I have contributed 2 poems and 1 short story. Everything is available in the online market even now. So here they had sent, this group called Sri Hind Publications had sent this beautiful bookmark. If you can read it, I'll just read it out to you. Between the pages of a book is a lovely place to be. Between the pages of a book is a lovely place to be. Yes, I felt it. So it's not just in writing. You feel with the book also. When you put a bookmark, when you go back to the book, you observe so many things. If you read just 2-3 pages, okay, you're not able to complete the book. Close it with a bookmark that you have made. There is some imagination, some creativity happening there. You close it, come back to the book maybe after an hour or after even a week, it happens. There is observation that is happening. And as you have read the book, your mind is open to so many things. Concentration power increases. You know all the benefits of reading. I don't have to tell you. Opportunity. There was a flame which was burning within me. I could sense that. And many a times I have felt that you cannot sit and explain everything to people. There won't be everybody to, people of course hear you, but not necessarily that they listen to you. So this flame was there, the spark was there somewhere. It was always there. And I just converted all these experiences into flames of imagination, and it came as an outcome here. So I will also narrate a small experience. Like, when I was very small, I was born in India. When I was 1 year old, I went to Kuwait. From then, my childhood starts then, from then it takes off. My father was working there. And then, we didn't have much access to learning Malayalam. That is my native tongue. Of course, we do have instructors. We have got experienced people. You can even sit here and learn any language from anywhere. It is possible. But then I'm talking about 94, 95. It was immediately after the Gulf War. And so many people were not coming back to Kuwait after the Gulf War. And I was there. So I was not able to read. I could speak well because my parents always encouraged speaking in the mother tongue. I can really speak well in Malayalam. So I wanted to read, but I did not take the effort. Of course, I had the alphabet book with me also. I did not take the effort, to be very frank. So I don't know whether children do it now. When you go to a supermarket with your mother or father, you have this small way of bribing them. There is a deal that you fix. I will come with you. Can you get this something for me? Can you get this chip packet for me? Or can you get this book for me? Can you get this packet of crayons for me? Even I had this deal with my mother. Every time I accompany her to the local supermarket, I will tell her, you should get this for me, even my father. So she's like, okay, fine. Today we are going to the supermarket. What do you want? I said, okay, I'll decide. I'll go. Let me see what is there. Of course, I take her permission before grabbing something. So I went with her, and almost the shopping was done. And my mother asked me, you didn't take anything. What do you want? So I said, I have got something. I had a small book in my hand. It was like a booklet. Okay. I don't know whether you have heard of it. The heading, it's called Balarama. The small booklets. I think even in Tamil it is there. You have got these small dailies like Magic Pot. Now we have got it. So then in Malayalam, even now we have got Balarama. So I was fascinated by the word grid in that. There was an English word grid given inside. So I just wanted to solve that word grid. But the stories were in Malayalam. Lot of colorful pictures. Balarama. So small booklet, maybe 12 to 20 pages, if I remember it correctly. And I said, I want this. I don't want chocolates. I don't want chip packet. Nothing. So my mother said, this is in Malayalam. How will you read it? So I said, you will read it for me. Then she said, okay, fine. I will help you. So we came back home, and my mother was very busy. Of course, I had my sister who was a tiny baby, and a lot of things. We were really busy with so many things. So then my eyes caught this alphabet book, because till then it was lying there in the shelf for almost a year, just like some of our personalities and reading skills. It is there in the shelf. You dust it, keep it back. Okay. You have a lot of skills within you. Sometimes you just dust it. You just explore and show everything to each other, showcase it, keep it there. So just like that, I had kept this alphabet book on the shelf. And then I started out of interest, because what is there? I wanted to read these stories in Malayalam. I started, keeping the book on one side. I kept Balarama next to me. I was looking at the alphabet. I read like that. I read. I took almost more than a week to read it, because there are short dialogues. I successfully read. That is how I learned to read Malayalam. I did not have access to tutors or instructors. I just did it because I wanted to read the story. So as a child, from my side, when you think as a child, I just wanted to read the small speech bubbles given on the colorful character. And of course, then I was able to do it gradually. So observation plays a role here. You need to be open. Of course, I had access to the English language. You speak in English. You have this opportunity to mingle with a lot of people from different culture. Everything is there. So I just created that opportunity for myself. Of course, there were favorable situations also. The same thing can be done by you also, people who are listening to me. So when you read, opportunities open. It just opens. The doors just open. If for me it opened, for you also, it will happen. Just believe in yourself. Confidence plays a very important role. Now, this book, I don't know if maybe you have read this book, The Power of the Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy. This is available with Readabit also. You can get a copy from them. It's a beautiful book. The Power of the Subconscious Mind. It reveals the invisible power of your mind. It is called subconscious because you have got this conscious mind. Okay, it has got this villainous laugh also. I'm here to control. Subconscious because the mind listens to the conscious mind always. So when you fill your mind with good thoughts, the subconscious will also act accordingly. That is what Joseph Murphy is trying to put it in very simple language. The magnetic power of the subconscious mind. And you can also relate it with the words of Paulo Coelho. I hope you have read Alchemist. That is also available with Readabit. When you aspire for something, the whole universe conspires so that you can achieve it. It is all within you. So when you read, when you eliminate, when you extend, when you eliminate the bad things, when you extend your personality, all these things will happen automatically. And, before I go to the next point, I just wanted to tell something. Generally, we speak about teenagers. Generally, we speak about old people. Generally, we speak about everybody. Human nature is like that. We speak about everybody else, but not about ourselves. We try to rectify others, but not ourselves. We generally say that teenagers are very arrogant. They don't understand anything. The brain is developing. Old people are always mature. I don't think so. Experience plays a very important role. The more you become open-minded, that is what defines you. If you're going to be like a frog inside the well, you will only croak. Where is your relationship with the outside world? We cannot give, we cannot judge, we cannot pass judgments. Of course, you can analyze, assessing a situation, analyzing is fine. But who are you to pass judgments? Don't pass any verdict on a child or an adult. So as you know, I'm a language tutor. I have got experience teaching in colleges, of course, in schools. And right now, I take classes for adult learners from different professions all across the country. I don't want to mention any platform here, but or the institution, but still, every day is a learning experience for me. So recently, I had a 53-year-old lady who took classes from me. She has finished her classes for 2 months. She was with me, 53 years old. Great person. Lot of exposure. She has traveled to so many places. So from the beginning, she came to learn the English language. But on the last day, she told me, ma'am, I was able to restore myself. That is how I got this word restoration. Reading, restoration. I don't know whether I have learned the English language, but I really get the approach to it. I have restored myself. I never had confidence in me. I'm 53 years old. I never had confidence. I always had this fear, because people always used to comment like this, like that. We hear a lot of these days, we have access to YouTube videos. We sit and listen to YouTube videos. We listen to all the people around the world. What is happening inside you? It is very difficult to bring out that personality, that better version. And I feel reading can definitely do it. Just read a bit. Just talk a little about it. And just change a bit. You just take the effort to change a bit, and then the evolution takes place. All these things will happen to you. PERS, all these things, whatever I've described, will happen to you. So, and also I had an opportunity to communicate with an Indian soldier 2 days back. He was also sharing his experience. Of course, he need to work on his English language skills and all that. Everything was an experience for me. So this is what I'm trying to tell you. Reading, and this soldier was also reading this book. I was so fascinated because sometimes, whenever you try for something, when you have the right intention, the universe conspires. So we were discussing on this book. It was a nice time that we had. So coming back to the points, observation and open-mindedness, opportunity. Do not forget the O. Next is N. Be noble in life. Be natural in life. How do you get this sumptuous feeling? I talked about S, right? You feel so happy, satisfied. Okay. When you have a nice platter of food in front of you, nice sambar, rice, you have got the chutney. Okay, whether you're a vegetarian or non-vegetarian, palak paneer, all the best dishes on the platter. You just allow it to, you just relish the food. That is how you should take reading. Don't read for somebody else's benefit. Don't read because your parents are telling you. Don't read because I am telling you or because Readabit is asking you to do it. Unfurl the magic. Start loving words. Okay, start enjoying the book. And simple ways of doing it is you hold the book in your hand. I always tell my learners, I don't know if you feel it. Smell the book. Okay, of course you get the smell of a new book, but still, that is also a kind of communication. I feel that it's a kind of communication. And also, I become so calm when I stand amidst books. Maybe you have also felt the same thing. When you go to huge places, huge malls, you have got separate sessions for cosmetics, perfumes, the other things in life, the household items, and there's a small corner for books. You just go stand there, even if you don't take a book. There is something that is talking to you, the feel you get. Start getting that feel. That is more than enough. Even if you don't start reading from today, just start getting the feel, So take those books, dust it away. Okay, have a discussion. So I'll come to discussion and all that, how to do it. The first thing is hold it properly, smell the book, close it and keep. It shouldn't remain in the shelf for a long time. Okay, just read, go through it. It's a beautiful feeling. I was talking about be noble, be natural. That's how we become nourished. You have to be natural in life. You cannot be somebody else. You don't have to be. I'm coming to tea, I'm coming to taglines, I'm coming to hashtags and all that. How do you become natural? Now, these days, we all are used to swiping, tapping, installing, uninstalling. Yeah, all these things, tagging. I'm not just talking about the social networking and the digital platform, but we are used to these things. And sometimes you install the bad things in life. You uninstall the good people from your life, knowingly, unknowingly, it happens. Swipe, you tap on other people, you dominate, you try to look down on people. That is why I told don't pass the verdict. Just be natural. If your instinct tells you that something is not right, listen to your mind, learn to listen to your mind. See, even when you read, I don't know whether you have experienced, you better experience this, just try it out. When you read, whether you're reading it aloud or when you're silently reading it, you hear your mind speaking to you. Your mind is the voice there. I used to practice reading loudly when I was a child. It was a kind of hobby for me. I used to hate social studies. No offense against the book, the subject, but I used to read the textbooks. That was also a kind of way I connected with the English language or the language, whatever language it is. So you listen to your mind. That's a beautiful voice. You need to start liking your mind's voice, your intuition, natural. It's very difficult to be natural in today's world because it is disastrous. It is not because of the coronavirus. It's not because of the pandemic. Not necessarily. Coronavirus came now. Before that also, pretension is the basic human nature. It is part of your existence. You need to pretend sometimes. You need to mask yourself. Metaphorically, you had mask earlier, but now you're forced to wear a mask. Yes, you're forced to sanitize your hands always. Do you sanitize your body, spirit, and mind? How do you do it? How can you sanitize your body, mind, and spirit? You're answerable to everything. This human body, people are actually struggling to maintain, retain, sustain the human life. Yes, with the virus, you're fighting with the virus. The whole world is fighting with the virus. It is not easy because it is fearfully and wonderfully made. I'm quoting a line from the Holy Bible, from Psalms. You're fearfully and wonderfully made. I'm sure that these lines resonate with the other holy books also. Yes, it does. So we're trying to sustain, retain. What happened? We tried to dominate the other strata, the other part of species, life. We thought we have everything here. Yes. So be noble, be nourished, be natural. And that is how you become notable. You don't have to run behind success. You don't have to convince everybody telling, hey, I'm here. You will be noted naturally. When you are natural, you will get noticed. That is what I always wanted to stress on. What is the next alphabet? A. Ah. Yes, a child always begins by calling Amma, Ah, Appa, Ah. Ah is very important. Now, talking about the present world, I come across a lot of learners who are going through this depression, anxiety. They have developed aversion to everything in life, and they find refuge in something else. They find alternatives in life. When do you find alternatives in life? Drugs, the wrong side of life, bad friends, stale things in life. So you start taking the alternatives in life when you develop this aversion, antipathy. You don't have attachment to anything. You don't have to be completely attached, overtly attached to anything, but always the capacity to comprehend, understand a fellow human being is important. If it has withered from your life, then you're in danger. Try to resonate, try to understand another human being. Even if you're not able to help, you can just understand, you can just be a listener. There is this famous song by Celine Dion. I don't know whether you've heard it. I can read your mind and I know your story. I can see what you're going through. Yeah, it's an uphill climb and I'm feeling sorry, but I know it will come to you. Yeah, I can read your mind. I know that you're in a sorry state. It's an uphill climb. You have to climb. You have to overcome. You have to restore yourself. Nobody else can do it for you. Even when I was going through this Corona phase, when our family was going through it, there were so many people, so many good people who came out to help. They tried giving you the mental strength, but it's all within you. One day when I was facing this problem, breathlessness, I had an inner voice. I don't know. It can be the supernatural element that you're believing in, whatever it is. There was a question posed to me. You are suffering breathlessness today. Tomorrow, if you die, what have you left in this world? What are you going to leave? So I felt that I was going to be withered away. I felt that I'm slowly erasing off. Of course, I knew before that there is a purpose in life. Of course, everybody's existence, it has got a meaning in life. Purpose is there. You unfold the beauty of these things with reading. You don't have to develop aversion. The world is developing it. What is there? People are dying. Yeah, we are in short of oxygen cylinders. Somebody is helping somebody. That is, they are doing like that. They are telling like this. That there is somebody else trying to find out something. I am also taking care of myself. How do you take care of yourself? I have seen people, they treat coronavirus like a big celebrity. Of course, it is a celebrity these days. It has flooded the international channels, the national channels. It has, as I told you in the beginning, it has transformed, or it is still transforming into the best version. It's like asking, I have seen people, treating it like a friend. எப்படி இருக்கீங்க நல்லா இருக்கீங்களா வாங்க வாங்க I want to take a selfie with you. You shake the hands. You don't understand what it is trying to do to you. The spikes are there. It is a time, I have heard people telling, I can also see people trying to retrospect into their life, but never a full stop. It is only a pause for them. When it becomes a full stop, that is when you fall into depression. You take alternatives in life. You go for alternatives, and then you are lost, confused. You stand at crossroads. There is another poem by Robert Frost, The Road Not Taken. Maybe everybody will be aware of it. Robert Frost is trying to talk about two roads. He doesn't know which one to choose. He chooses the less traveled one, and that has made all the difference. It comes as the last two lines of the poem. Teach your child to take the less traveled road. I was talking about complacence. You're so happy with your life. it's not necessary that you have to always take risk in life. That is also dangerous. When you take the less traveled road, suppose it is a good road, how can you say whether it's a good or a bad road? When you take the road, the less traveled one, you will have crossroads. Maybe it is going to be parched. Maybe you will face a lot of turbulence. You are lost somewhere. Now, earlier in the olden times, when you choose a good road, it is good forever, maybe. When it is a bad road, it is bad forever. These days, even if you choose a good road, you have bad and evil in between. How do you overcome that? You have chosen the right way. You are successful in life, but still there is a turbulence. Then again, you blame everything. The coronavirus comes and kisses you, and then you start blaming the stars, the planet, everything above you. You start blaming everything, your home. You throw things away. That shouldn't be the attitude. This is for everybody out there. It's not just the virus. I'm relating to the virus because there are so many things connected with it. It can be anything. Even during the lockdown, there are so many things happening in different families. Come out of it. Or how do you come out of it? That is what I'm trying to explain here. Do not develop aversion, antipathy. These are dangerous elements. Try to connect. Connection doesn't mean always messaging like this, connecting in social networks, social media. Everything is for the good. Everything is for the good. You can swipe, you can tap, as I told you earlier. You can install, uninstall. It's up to you. Everything is there in your fingertips. What do you do with that? That is the question. The next is L. L, okay. I would also like to mention, before I go to L, I would like to mention another point. I have come across this collection called Mandy and Her Friends, Mandie. I don't know whether it's available in the Indian market. This is something which I used to read, okay? It's about, it's a Bildungsroman, which means that the physical capacity, the main protagonist, the main character evolves physically, mentally, spiritually through the novel, just like Harry Potter. You all are familiar with Harry Potter. Everybody is familiar with it. So the character evolves. All the characters evolve physically, mentally, spiritually. So this collection has got 40 novels. Mandy and Her Friends, adventurous, detective, mystery, everything is there. Fiction, everything is there. It centers around a small girl, okay? She begins as a small girl in the first book, and it just goes on. She has lost her mother. She's living with her father and her stepmother. It takes place in North Carolina. And also she develops an interest towards a group, a backward class in North Carolina called the Cherokees, Cherokees. Cherokees. So she develops this interest, and Louise Gladys is the author of all the novels. She's the author, and she's put it very beautifully. It just goes on. Life just goes on. She runs into trouble every time. There's a small, cute puppy that this girl has got, Snowball. Just like the name, it's round. It has got the color of the snow. And along with her, the puppy also runs into trouble. But then this girl tries to unfurl each trouble, everything, every issue. She also tries to connect with the backward class, the Cherokees. And finally, she transforms into a beautiful girl, into a teenager. And then again, problems will come. And then towards the end, you can see that she connects with her biological mother, Elizabeth. How does she do that? She's taken forcefully by her housekeeper to her uncle's house, Jim Shaw's house. And there she again runs into problems, and she discovers the mystery of her parenthood, of her family. And then she slowly, the story unfurls, and you will discover that she has got a connection with her paternal grandmother, has got a connection with the Cherokees. And that is why she also had a small attachment towards this backward class. So it just goes on. You cannot put down the book. Now, how did I develop the interest is because my friend had a membership in the American library then when we were in Kuwait. So that is how I developed my reading habit. And we had a kind of combined membership. She used to get the book, and we used to share the book. She will get the book, she will read it first, she will give it to me, then I will pass it on to my friend, and we will have a good discussion about it. Did you like that character? What do you say? What is going to happen in the next book? And then the librarian will tell us, you have to wait for the next book because it is imported. We haven't got the next book. So this kind of enthusiasm is there in most of the people. If it is there, yes, that is how you read. All the writers, all the readers out here who are listening to me, who are willing to develop the interest. So that is what I just wanted to mention, the Mandy collection. Now I was talking about L. Okay. Now I would like to use a term here, gems and praises. Gems and praises. Okay, so we always, take this privilege. I don't know whether you call it a privilege. We always give special attention to children. We appreciate them. We acknowledge them. Yes, it's very good. You shouldn't discourage anybody, especially in the first attempt. We say that. And we encourage a child. We give them gems, praises. But to be very frank, I have seen people overdoing it. So it has to be a learning process for both the adults and the children. It should begin from the family, from home, the smallest unit, from the society. See, appreciation wanes off. It tends to wane off when you reach the adulthood, when you start growing up. Not necessary that you get the same appreciation as you evolve, as you grow up. No, it's not possible. Sometimes it is there, sometimes it is not there. I'll come back to the L. You all are able to hear me, but how many of you are listening to me? It happens with all of us. You are able to hear me. My headset is working. Your headphones are, well, my microphone is also in working condition. It is there, all the facilities, thanks to the digital technology for all this. How we have evolved from what we were. Yes. So are you listening? The power to listen. All of us lack this capacity. When you don't listen to your mind, when you don't listen to the words, when you don't listen to the power of the alphabets, it's gone, it snaps. And when we read, the psychologists always say that there is always a thin thread of balance between the childhood and the adulthood. Thin thread. It is like a thread. Just imagine, use all your imagination. What can happen to the thread? It can become thinner. It can snap. Okay, it's a small, barrier. It's not a barrier exactly. A small division is there. It can shift. Anything can happen with that thin thread. Correct. So don't overdo things. When you have the opportunity, when you get the chance to appreciate, acknowledge, please do that. It's not just applicable with children. It is applicable with adults also. Maybe the way they react, the way they respond is different. It varies from person to person. Depression, anxiety, suicidal tendency. Nobody is there to listen to me. The common problem. I'm trying to explain. I'm trying to speak. Nobody is there to listen. So many youngsters, I'm not just telling youngsters, even adults, old people, they have shared it with me. When I take these language classes, I just don't focus on the language capacity, the skills, because it is a combination of so many things. It is all there. Okay. If you want to speak in English, if I want to speak in Tamil, it's all there. Coordination of your thought, of your mind with your mouth, that is there. It's a huge process. The same thing happens with writing. Now, these days we type, we swipe, we do all these things. When you write, it's a huge, so many things are happening. You're thinking, you're writing, muscles are working, your fingers are working. Okay, so many things are happening. When you don't write for a long time, your fingers are numb. You forget to hold a pen. I've heard people telling that I just can't, it is not flexible, not able to do it, anything. So it's a huge process. So listening capacity. You don't have to necessarily go to a counselor or a psychiatrist or a psychologist. Just be a listener, listen to your inner mind, pay attention to it. Don't overdo things. Things will be in track. So the power of reading helps you to listen. You're listening to all the writers. Of course, you have got your perception. You're reading it, you're listening to your mind, you're listening to the author's voice sometimes, what the author is trying to convey. You're relating it with your experience. Specifically, this generation, like earlier, I remember when I was doing my schooling, many of you can relate with me. We had these textbooks. Maybe the textbooks will not have so many pictures, but still it will have summaries, it will have the important points, it will have 2-3 experiments. But we had to go and refer another book from the library. We had to do it. And we took the interest to do it also. These days, the textbooks are so colorful. And revising part, re-editing, publishing it again, I don't know. I don't think it happened earlier frequently like how it happens now. Because there are so many people, innovative people these days, they want to re-edit, they want to publish it again, revise it. Now, these days, when you open, it's there, everything is there. Summary box is there, recap box is there, picture is there, boy is running, boy is having a butterfly above his head, everything is there. To top it all, we have got this visualization, and children are so smart. Everything is there on the screen. Good animation, everything is there. The capacity to imagine. Imagination, how many of you have got that? I'm not telling everybody has lost that, but still, it is waning off. Imagination, relating with the words. Okay, it is there. Okay, fine. The boy is running. Clouds are there. Outburst. So, according to your experience, the brain is talking to your mind is talking to you. Look at the beautiful, picture that you have created. Sometimes a child will also draw on it. It is easy to say that we are doing it, but are you actually doing it? Reading is a huge process. It's not just reading a book. Reading is a package of so many things. The next is identity. Very, very important. Some people try to convince others. They say, I'm going to inspire you now. How can you announce and then inspire somebody else? I'm going to maybe influence, okay. I'm going to inspire now. No, it should happen like that. Inspiration. Don't lose your identity. There will be hundreds of things happening in the world. People will only try to put you down. But one person is there, one listener is there. That is more than enough. That is your success. So many people, what are you saying? Doesn't make any sense. It was not like that for me. It was something different for me. It's fine. That is fine. It was something different for you. That is good. It should be like that. Now, here comes this balancing. Some people say, we all say we should balance things in life. Definitely you should. You should balance a lot of things in life. That also comes through reading. When you read this book, The Power of the Subconscious Mind, you'll get it better. It'll just come to you. Balancing is not equal to pressurizing yourself. You are not a pressure cooker. You try to do everything at the same time. You try to convince everybody. You try to please everybody. You want to confirm whether they are pleased. You want to cross-check whether they are happy. I'm not telling you should not do all these things, but balancing is not pressurizing yourself. What happens eventually, gradually? You lose your identity. You don't know what you are. Who am I? People start asking, who am I? What am I? What am I doing? What have I been doing? What is the purpose of living? So many people ask, what is the purpose of living? Why life is like this? Life is complex. And that is why it is beautiful. Life is natural. That is why in its complexity, it is beautiful. Find the beauty. Enjoy small moments in life. I'm so happy that so many people have already started doing it since the lockdown. Enjoying small moments in life. People define success in different way. Success is that, doing this, doing that, good. Achievements, everything, good. Are you happy? Is your inner being happy? How do you find happiness amidst the chaos? That is what reading will do to you. How do you find the happiness? When you start pressurizing yourself, when you start ignoring yourself, all these things will happen. You're diluting your personality. You're adding more and more and more solve. It just goes away. It's no longer visible, vanished. And then you come to the stage, who am I? Even if you are normal, nobody can be normal. Albert Einstein has told that you are not normal, you shouldn't be normal. If somebody tells you that you are mad, say thank you. You're supposed to be mad sometimes. The world is, it's frenzy. You get lost in the hustle and bustle, but you should know when to come back, when to stop, when to draw the line, when to set boundaries. So that is what I stands for. Next is T. Before I go to T, I would like to talk about this book. This is another book which got recently published. 2 more books. I'm working on 2 more books. All the 3 books I have co-authored, and the international publication, everything is co-authored. And I'm also writing for a magazine, a health lifestyle magazine. So this is the 3rd book which has hit the international market, my first love. And it has been launched by more than 10 countries, as Govardhan also pointed out. We don't have the physical copies with Amazon India right now because it is getting printed elsewhere and we have to import. I was also able to contribute my story in this. 12 different authors have put in the concept of love, the emotion as an emotion. For some, it is a theory also. Don't tell me that you don't like to love. I don't love anybody. You need to fall in love, but not necessary that if it is that it should be a person, it should be a thing. You fall in love with reading. So that is how the authors have expressed here. You can sense pain, frustration, gain, fragility, fragmented lives, but how they restore, how they come back. Now, I was talking about T, tagging, trending. These days, we know, we go behind trends. What is trending? I think I should do the same thing. It is good, fine. You should be trendy, good. Tagging. I'm not talking about the taglines that you have. Of course, it helps you to connect. Now also, you know that I exist and I know that you exist. That is why I thanked the virus at some point. I always thank the virus at some point in my life. Tagging. This happens with people who have got efficient and successful members in their own family. So many students, so many youngsters, even older people, they say, okay, my father, mother, they were like this. So I was also forced to be like this. There is a tagline which comes. Oh, you are so-and-so's daughter. You are so-and-so's father. It goes inverse also. It is the other way around also. But mostly on the the current generation. Oh, maybe you will be like this. Yeah, presumption again. So you try to, draw the boundaries for them. Otherwise, the world will do it for you. You are so-and-so son and daughter, no? So I think you should be like this. If you don't do, if you're not like that, then why? Why you're not like that? Or you get compared with your siblings. Your sister is like that. Your brother is like that. Your brother was like that. Tagging happens. You need to understand what is happening there. Some people, okay, it's for a good intention. They try to motivate you. They try to bring a sense of understanding. They try to alert you. That is there. That is always there. But unnecessary tagging, when you take the road less traveled, like how Robert Frost has given in his poem rightly, people will be there to tag you. Everybody's taking that road. These days also people say, I've taken this vaccination, you also take that. Coronavirus, you know, it is like this. Have you seen it? Okay, you take that road, I've taken this road. Vaccination is coming, strains are coming, waves are coming. It is like that. Who told you? Of course, research is going on. Medical expertise, they are there. They know everything. We don't have to presume and judge and just walk around without wearing the mask. The earlier thing I told you, you treat it as a celebrity, go take a selfie with the coronavirus. And then it's there. You start living with the virus then. So don't get tagged, get transformed. T. It's not always necessary to go by the trend. When you look at the lives of writers and great people who have really become successful in life, most of them took the road less traveled. Most of them, generally. They have explored, they have excavated. When you take a diamond, in the crude form, it is black. Not very appealing. When you dig it from the ground, black. Not good, no shine is there. It doesn't sparkle. Will you wear it in your jewelry? No. If it could speak, it will tell you, I went through all this process, grinding, cutting, edging, refining, how many times polishing? And what do you get? The exuberance. It starts sparkling. It starts radiating. Your life should be like that. Go through this refinement process. Instead of somebody coming and telling you all these things, instead of taking help from somebody else, you can do it by yourself. The power of books, the power of words. I'm not against the digital platform. Of course, you have got Kindle version. Kindle is an excellent way of reading. You have got the e-books, very good. But at some point in your life, it is always good to have a book in your hand. It's an asset. I cannot explain when it comes to books. Just read it, feel the book. It is the work of so many people, and it is speaking to you there. And also, when I talk about trend T, people tell it for fashion, even small children, because somebody else is telling, I love reading. What is your hobby? I love reading. Because he feels or she feels that when you say, I love reading, people be like, oh, okay. You remember that, oh, I told you, oh. Read for yourself, not for somebody else. So that trendsetter is there. It's a fashion. Reading is a fashion. It should be a passion, not a fashion. Take interest. So from the habit, from the hobby, it should transform into the passion. Passion is a big word. Habitual reading, hobby. I don't completely agree to this hobby, but okay, to an extent, it's fine. It should become a necessity. Just like how you take 3 meals a day or 4 meals a day or 6 meals a day. I don't know how many you take these days during the lockdown. It should become a necessity. It should transform into the passion, not a fashion. I have a library in my house. I sit and read there. So what? The books are rotting there. Good if you read it with diligence and passion. Yes, there you are. But if you just showcase, yes, I've got a library, people are coming and taking. Yes, children, adults, everybody is taking. I'm enjoying, I'm looking at it and enjoying. Which book is placed where? I don't know. Great libraries if you go. I'm not mentioning any colleges if you go. If you take a book, it was taken in 1985 or 84 and now you're borrowing it. Where was this book? It was somewhere there. You did not even know the existence of this book or whatever is written in that. And regarding children, when you develop the reading habit, don't try to tame them. They are not animals. They are not pieces for showcase where you tame. They are not going to perform in front of somebody else, even for adults. You just need to show them the way. They know everything. It's always there. It is there. Just show them the way. If you take this is what happens. Try taking risk, but you should be responsible. Be responsible for what the choice you make. This is what happens if you do. You can only guide. Books are the best guides that you can have in your life. All the confusion just goes away with that. What is the last letter? Y. So I just want to connect everything. Okay, Y stands for yearning, Y-E-A-R-N. You long to read a book. That's another level. Now you just start the habit of reading and then you long to read the book. Oh, I'm longing to have this copy in my hand. Yearn. Passion is there. From fashion, it has transformed. And then you yoke, Y-O-K-E, join everything together. There comes a beautiful personality, P-E-R-S-O-N-A-L-I-T-Y. Yoke everything together. All the points are there in reading. So reading package and personality, put it together, all the 11 points. I could talk on this topic for maybe 5 days, 7 days. It just goes on. But that is not the point. Throwing light on the hidden person, on the identity, okay, on what you are, on all the powers that you have got, on your capacity, on your capability, personality, lighting the person hidden inside you. There, the person is there, I can see. So bring that out through reading, evolve, extend, resonate, reciprocate. That is how you become human beings. The purpose of existence is not to continue as a zombie. Of course, some of us are already behaving like that, zombies, and it just happens. Life is like that because life is so competitive. It happens sometimes. You go off and on. It is fine. We are not supernatural powers to always be perfect. But in your imperfection, find your perfection. Find your perfect side. Those imperfections make you. Those imperfections shouldn't break you. It should make you. Get those two words. It should make you and not break you. I would also like to mention a few poems that I have contributed to two international magazines. The name of one is, as Govardhan pointed out, The Font. It is an Australian magazine. I already told about the two poems. Another magazine is the Knack magazine. It is an American magazine, but it's not necessarily poetry and short stories. It's more on photography, art. So the editor was so generous enough on seeing my work to give me 7 pages to put up my poems. Some of the poems are Chime of Hope, Black and White Morning, This Is That Offer, Beautiful Rose, and To God from Lissy. I just want to mention one line on To God from Lissy. This was written when I really saw the cyclone in front of me when I was in Chennai. I came to Madurai in 2018. Before that, I was in Chennai. I could see the power of the cyclone, uprooting, doing all these things, how it affected everybody around. So that time I just wrote a short letter. I re-edited and I had sent it to this magazine. So this is how I evolved. I extended. I evolved with reading. So I hope that you will also throw light on the capability, on the capacity that is there It is always there in you, and transform all the capacities, all the capabilities into opportunities and possibilities. And don't compare what others are doing. Don't compare yourself. Just move forward, believe in yourself, transform, evolve with reading. Just read a bit and change a bit. If you make a small change, just see small, everybody is planning to change. I'm bringing in a small change. You can't do big things, but small changes are there. And see how the world becomes a better place. You become a better personality, not the best. Better. And then it goes on. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your wonderful interactive speech on personality development. In fact, among us, we have a lot of personalities who have actually personified that each and every characteristics you have mentioned, and they are actually the living role models. So I would like to request Dr. Raja Govindasamy sir to please share your views. And thank you very much, sir, for being part of this wonderful session. So we'd like to have a few words from you, sir. So then we also have High Court Advocate, Mr. S. Srinivasa Raghavan, sir, and along with his daughter, she also started writing poems for a short recently, and she has got her poem published in one of the international publication also. So I would like to request Srinivasa Raghavan, sir, followed by Shweta, to share a few words. And of course, Shweta, you can just share your poem also. Sir, over to you, sir.
Good morning, ma'am.
Yes, sir, you can go ahead, sir.
Is she available? Ma'am is available?
Yeah, she is there. She's there. You can go ahead.
Morning, ma'am.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning.
Ma'am, I'm just 2 streets away from you. I'm Gomadipuram. I'm surprised to see that such a personality lives in the same area. I don't know how I missed you. Probably I'm very poor in socializing. Thanks to Readabit, I think you should change to read a lot, because he's doing a lot of service to us, our area and people and across the country. And I'm very glad to get to know about you and the way in which you have written things, and more importantly, the way in which you have projected the ingredients of a reading habit and whatnot. And very interesting session. And the language, command over the language, the accent, the diction, the vocabulary, everything was excellent. I stand totally salutary. And I think my daughter is here, Shweta.
Hey, hi, Shweta. Hello.
Hello, am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, I can hear you. We can hear you. Yeah.
I was able to get a lot of positivity from your talk today. So I really felt good today, ma'am. And it was a pleasure listening to you. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Shweta. Good to connect with you.
Yeah, ma'am. Thank you.
Raja Govindasamy, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir, please.
Just a moment. You have unmuted me.
Yes, sir. We are able to hear you.
Okay. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
I'm very thankful to our very beloved speaker for making it so affable, and it was the voice, the words, and the wisdom that she conveyed that I enjoyed, and splitting the word personality in terms of each letter and stuffing each thing with her own reading experience, exhorting the readers, both adults as well as young ones, to kind of read whatever that comes by, and interspersing her talk with how during stressful times such as the pandemic that we have been passing through, what comes of reading is the kind of leisure, and she mentioned in passing also resilience, which I appreciate. In particular, the Mandy stories that she referred to, I had heard of it. I have not read any of these fictional works, and that's one tip for me today. I hope the Chennai American Consular Library will be able to lend me these books once they are open. I also wish to convey to those English reading public among us, and I know it's a small number now, that we have Hemingway's Nick Adams stories, which of course Hemingway wrote off and on, and they were not chronologically written, but later somebody compiled all that into what is called Nick Adams' stories of a boy who grows up under a doctor father, and how he goes to school and how he overcomes his adolescent problem, his love affair with Marjorie, and how he learns to enjoy solitude, where he tries to know more about himself and what happens to him as an adult, and how he marries. And at the end of the novel, and at the end of the story collection, Nick Adams, as a grown-up man, married, traveling in a car with a boy, like the boy whom you get introduced to at the beginning of the first story. Some of these, which the speaker very ably called it as Bildungsroman, the way by which a character grows to maturity and comes to grips with life, are instances of people coming to understand life. These books convey to us as to how we should learn to live. After all, great literature answers the question how to live. I'm not going to deal with literature here, but reading makes it such a pleasure. And so many of us here, as we listened to her speak so well about English fiction and English works through literature, are also remembering Tamil works which have influenced them. And I'm confident there will be another occasion when another Tamil speaker could be able to convey the other variety. And that way it will be complementary to one and the other. Maybe she herself would be able to explain to us. But I appreciate her her warmth and the cheerfulness and the way in which she conveyed it all to all of us. So much has been said in so little a space with such a conviction that I salute her and thank Readabit for allowing us to have this bit of wisdom every Sunday morning. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your wonderful words. In fact, whenever she mentions about a particular word, and it just helps us recollect personalities like you, because we
great.
used to see that
Thanks.
you are actually role modeling it. And in fact, when it comes to inspiration, because you are so fluent both in English as well as Tamil, that's quite difficult, because mastering it and of course sharing it with the world, it's something quite amazing thing. Thank you so much for your valuable time and valuable views.
What, Govardhan, and what I am able to observe now is Gomadippuram has a strong group of people who matter.
Exactly, sir.
So
Exactly.
you have Srinivas Raghavan, you have a speaker like her. I think there could be a literary circle here, apart
Yes,
from
sir.
reading. And with Srinivas Raghavan's Kudave Varum Nila
Yes, sir.
taking us by storm, I gave it to the ministers last week, to
Okay.
Honorable Minister Murthy and to Honorable Minister Palnivel Tyagarajan and to the district collector and to a few of
Great,
the
sir.
other officials. And I'm very confident that Gomadippuram will be another beacon light of people who talk about literature, who talk about life, who talk about commitment and societal development. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. As you rightly mentioned, we can give a recommendation of calling Gomadippuram as a literary district.
Thanks. Very good.
So anybody would like to raise any questions, any doubts you have? In fact, ma'am, can you just roll through the chat? They've asked about your book name. So maybe
Okay.
you can just share the names of the books once again. The
Okay.
3 books.
Yes. So quickly, I will just give the titles. The first one is Flames of My Imagination. It got published by Sri Hind Publications. It is available in the Amazon and Flipkart. I guess so. It is still available, but Kindle versions are definitely there. It is available. Flames of My Imagination. This is the book cover. Okay, and then the next one is Unlockdown Memories, 15 Short Stories by Books 33. Unlockdown Memories, 15 Short Stories by Books 33. that has got my experience on contracting COVID, the spiked blessing. And the one which hit the international market is Love Stories, My First Love. As I told you earlier, this gets printed elsewhere. It is launched by Destiny Media in Mumbai. It was launched by them, but the copies get printed elsewhere right now for the time being because of the pandemic and the limitation, the printing constraints that we have. But Kindle version is available. You can get a copy. And 2 more books are coming up in the market. I will update you on that. And that is going to be, one is going to be called The COVID Diary. The second one is Musings, Mirage of Musings. That is like all poetry, full of poems by me. So as it gets launched, as it gets published, I will update you also. Thank you for your interest. Yeah.
Great.
So if there is no any other question, you can very well contact us individually, and our contact details like readabit.in. Mobile number is 9843253826, or you can just visit our website. So anytime, feel free to raise your questions. So as we discussed that this personality development will be conducted as a regular course. So those who want to enroll in it, please contact anytime. Thank you, each and every participants. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.